Hello, this is Daniel with Daniel's Bullion Coins. I've got my sweet wife with me
Hello.
here today, and we're going to maybe talk a little bit about some of the other videos that we've done and maybe answer some questions for you today. So I'd like to back up and tell you a little story. We touched on the insurance for your currency, your savings, having insurance. Of course, that's gold and silver. And we got into a little bit of a story about a house burning down and you could call your insurance company. Well, I'll tell you a funny story. When I was real young, about 16 or 17 years old, I was working at the Tasty Freeze, and across the street was a body shop, and they were restoring a 68 Camaro Rally Sport convertible, Chevrolet 350 4-speed, all brand new, restored. And they rolled that thing out of the body shop all finished, and I went running over there. Oh, I've just got to have that car. He wanted $1,000 for it, and I scraped up every penny I could to buy that car for $1,000. I didn't have the money for insurance, so I just started cruising the town with no insurance. And of course I got pulled over for speeding, and back in the day they used to write you these SR-22 forms here in Virginia that was proof of insurance. So I got an SR-22 form knowing I didn't have insurance, but I was kind of friends with the insurance lady because I was always making payments and squeaking by with my insurance. And so the next day I went into the insurance company and I said, oh, I bought a new car. I need to add that onto my policy, or buy a policy. I didn't even have a policy. I'd let it lapse. And she gave me a 10% down quote because I needed to make it as cheap as possible because I didn't have any money. And so I made a 10% payment on it, and she started to write the policy. And I said, oh, could you do me a little favor and date that for yesterday so that maybe you could take care of this SR-22 form for me? She giggled a little bit, and I smoozed her as a little 16-year-old driving this new convertible. So I moved the date back to yesterday and gave her the, paid my 10% down. The point is, I bought insurance after I knew that I needed it, so I was telling the story that maybe you could get insurance now. Here the dollar is collapsing right now. The house is on fire right now. You're driving the car without insurance because you're in the dollar, and the dollar is collapsing. Look at the cost of everything going up. That's the dollar burning down. You can call your insurance company right now and get a policy dated back to the 70s, 60% cheaper than today. You can buy insurance for the dollar because silver is 60% below its all-time high from back in the late 70s and 80s. So that's just a funny little scenario to try to frame just quickly and in a fun way how important, and I think that once the silver actually collapses, when you won't be able to, the dollar, when it actually takes its first hit, the dollar actually takes its first hit, it'll be like catching a falling knife. You'll be too late. You can see it's already burning, so you need to be doing something right now. Well, that was just a little recap from a video we did the other day. Maybe we'll take a question and go from there.
Well, the question I have is why do they keep saying the dollar is getting stronger?
Okay.
Well, it's the talking heads that are saying that.
Yes. So there's two ways of looking at the dollar. One is the relative value of it, and then the purchasing power of the dollar. So the relative value of the dollar is the dollar in comparison to other currencies. So these other currencies are devaluing and going down really fast. They're just drifting off. And to the point where they have to actually pay you to take it. So, the interest rate is negative on some of these currencies. The Japanese yen, they loan that at a negative rate or zero. The dollar's been at zero. That's how worthless it is that they have to almost pay you to take it and to get a loan.
That's amazing.
That is the relative value. So all these currencies are going down, and then they compare the dollar to those other ones that are going down. So they'll say, oh, it's ahead, oh, it's stronger, or oh, it's under, but that's relative to other currencies. The truth is the purchasing power of the dollar only has 2 or 3% of its purchasing power left. So, in other words, it's like buying a brand new car, and that car now hasn't had the oil change, the muffler's falling off of it, the tires are bald, and you're trying to get the last little bit of miles out of it.
Yeah.
Well, that last 2 or 3% is very crucial, because you can drive the car still. You can still get in the car. We can still spend the dollar, even though it only has 2% or 3% of its value remaining. But all it needs is the rod to come through the side of the engine, or the tires to blow, and you're not even going to be able to, go down to the grocery store and get food, because your dollar is going to be worthless. That's how close it is. But relative to other currencies, it's getting stronger.
That's what I was saying. I was going to say they've compared it. The dollar is the best horse at the glue factory.
That's a good one.
I've heard someone say. I said that was pretty clear.
Cleanest shirt in the laundry.
Yeah.
And that's the one you're going to pull out and wear for the day.
Exactly. The other question I have is, why do you think gold is jumping? It seems to be, particularly gold, on Friday.
Yeah.
I know there were certain reports that came out about, so is that why you think?
Okay, so the gold is climbing, and it's up above 2,600.
Yeah.
It's up $800 in year to date. The gold has climbed $800 year to date. And what that is not what we are expecting as far as jumping or climbing. What we're talking about is going to be exponential climbing. What we're seeing right now is just the inflation rate, the inflation that's creeping in, and a little bit of uncertainty as far as the election and all of that that's coming up.
Yeah.
The true breakout in gold and silver hasn't even come close to starting, because when you start to close in that gap of the shortfall that we have in silver and gold, it will cause gold and silver to be climbing hundreds of dollars overnight and during the day when the market's open, when we actually start to see the true value, the fair value of gold and silver starting to come back.
Yeah, and silver is always the lagger. They both went up percentage-wise, but still gold climbed faster than.
This time gold did climb, I think, right about the same as silver, didn't it?
Almost,
The percentage-wise,
yeah.
pretty close. Now, last week, silver was exceeding the rate of increase by 3 to 1 with gold. And this week, it's kind of really, really close. And I think, in my opinion, they were hammering and manipulating the silver price down. Where last week
they even tried on gold too.
Yes, well, last week they were specializing on hammering the gold down, and we've gone over how you can see that for yourself by following the charts in our other videos. Maybe we'll do a video on that next time, how we can, you can see for yourself the manipulation.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's good. Well, there's good information, my honey. Thank you.
Well, I hope
so
you all
much.
enjoyed the video. Thank you so much.
Blessings.